Hello and welcome to the very first episode of HBWP Hebert Brothers Wrestling Podcast, where two brothers sit down and talk about wrestling. My name is Jareth.
My name is Matthias.
And we are, 8 years apart from each other?
I have no clue.
I was born in 99, he was born in
07.
07. I thought it was 08, my bad. But since the day I could remember anything, I remember there was always wrestling on the television. It was always VHS tapes of WCW and old WWE pay-per-views. And the more I grew up with it, the more I loved wrestling. My brother Matthias, I got him into wrestling because that was all I ever watched.
One of my first memories was definitely watching the best of Shawn Michaels matches.
Oh, the DVD that I had, the Boyhood Dream DVD?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, which, actually, that's a great way to segue. We're going to talk about, before we can talk about the current news in the world of wrestling, we actually want to give y'all a good idea of who we preferred as wrestlers and who we enjoy watching. And as he mentioned, we had the DVD of Shawn Michaels' Boyhood Dream because growing up, Shawn Michaels, even to this day, is still one of my favorite performers to ever step foot in a squared circle.
And funny thing is that I am the complete opposite of you. My favorite wrestler has always been The Undertaker.
Okay, I was about to say, if you're saying Bret Hart,
no,
we're gonna have a rival. We're gonna have another Montreal screw job in this apartment right now. No. But no, okay, Undertaker is a good choice because as I can say, like I said, I grew up on that stuff. Undertaker was a very, very close second for me because whenever he popped up on the screen, he demanded your attention, your presence. We went to the Royal Rumble 2017,
2017.
Yeah, 2017. And when that gong hit during the Royal Rumble and Goldberg was just standing by himself in the middle of the ring and that lights just cut off, goosebumps from the tip of my fingers all the way down to my toes. It was just goosebumps. It was chills. That was the first time we heard Dad yell in excitement in a long time.
Yep.
But no, yeah, for me personally, it was Shawn Michaels. For you, it's The Undertaker. Another person who I enjoyed watching all the time was Jeff Hardy, John Cena.
Yep.
I've been a fan of CM Punk since, before he even joined WWE, back when he was still in the Ring of Honor era. You had The Undertaker. Who else you have?
I mean, Jeff Hardy, obviously. John Cena was always, childhood hero, basically. He was Captain America of WWE.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say that CM Punk was definitely up there for a while. For a really long time, I always loved Edge.
Oh, yes.
And nowadays he's doing whatever he's doing with Cope, whatever that is.
I seriously don't believe that is his idea. I think that was just either Tony Khan's or someone who's back there in AEW. Adam Copeland was fine. Calling him Adam Copeland because that's his real name, it's fine. But you're calling him Cope?
Yeah.
Really? No.
Yeah.
But, yes, like I've mentioned, I've been watching wrestling for years. I got him to watch wrestling, but with me, I don't give a damn what company it is, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, AAA. If it involves a squared circle or sometimes a hexagonal ring, I'm watching. I know you're the same way as well.
Yeah, I don't keep up with a lot of the other companies and stuff, but WWE and AEW, I kind of keep up a little bit. AEW's kind of going down the toilet a little bit, honestly.
Well, it is going down the toilet because they're lower budget, lower everything. Some of the matches are still great. They still have amazing talent over there, but if they were just more focused on...
They have amazing talent, but too much of it.
Yeah, they have great names and yet not enough time to showcase all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's not a bad company. It still puts out decent matches. I mean, hell, what was it? All in Texas, the Texas death match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, that was
something.
Yeah.
But it was still entertaining. They still put on entertaining matches, especially one of the competitors I don't not give a damn about. I never gave a damn about, but the other one I loved to death. Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné.
Oh yeah.
Like, they put on a hell of a match. I thought it was going to underperform. I was blown away. Now, before we continue with the other stuff, we still want to give you more of an idea about us. I'll let you go first. Your wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Wrestling Mount Rushmore, I would definitely say, in terms of what made the company what it is, I would say Hogan, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I would probably also say, even though that he really had a problem with the company for a while, Bret Hart, because of technical ability, he's still probably one of the best technical wrestlers ever. I would say probably maybe Triple H.
Okay.
Because even after he was done and finished, he still made the company something else and changed it drastically. And probably just as a modern, something that's more modern and recognizable, John Cena.
Okay. Yeah, I can see your points. Very valid points. Now, you're gonna call me crazy because I got 3 wrestlers on there and 1 person who's been in the business for a long time.
I can see where this is going, probably.
So I'm gonna start with the wrestlers, and then I'm gonna give I'm gonna straight up give the Abraham Lincoln spot to the person to the other person. But face that's instantly recognizable with anything. I mean, you got John Cena. He's I can understand a lot of people not liking Cena because he was Super Cena for so many years.
Yeah, and everybody said he couldn't wrestle because he just had if you boiled it down for a while, he had Goldberg matches.
He did have Goldberg matches.
Just the same moves, 1, 2, 3. Done.
Yeah, that was basically it. But still, it still brought a lot of eyes to the... That was my phone. And yes, that's LA Knight. I probably should turn that off. But no, he brought he brought new eyes to the company. He's, instantly recognizable with kids. He's loved by kids. He has the world record for the most Make-A-Wishes ever. Yeah. And he was overall entertaining. His motto, hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's a great motto for anyone of any ages. I mean, granted, a lot of people say that say your prayers and eat your vitamins was more...
Yeah, that was more influential technically.
Technically, but still, it was Cena. Then, you got to go to the face that kickstarted it all. The absolute face that kickstarted it all. What made wrestling start to rise and become what we know today. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
If he did not cut the promo of Austin 3:16, then the Attitude Era probably would not have lasted that long.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, he himself was just a golden goose because his FU attitude against Vince McMahon, rising against authority before the authority became a faction, he made wrestling badass.
Yeah, the Austin 3:16 promo was definitely a lightning in a bottle moment.
Absolutely. Now, it's stuck between 2 particular wrestlers. That's I'm going to have to give it to Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan was the John Cena before John Cena, but the thing is, he actually did something that Cena could not do, which sucks because given the fact that it's current events, he knew how to play a good guy and he knew how to play a bad guy, and he knew how to capitalize from it. He could switch like that, and no one saw it coming. Still
one of the greatest heel turns of all time.
Greatest! Absolute greatest heel turns. Like, literally, everyone's like... I mean, what was it? Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary kind of gave it away, like, so fast. Like, is he the third man? Is he the third man? And it's like, whoa, hang on, he may not be the third man. Yeah. It was like, if he didn't say that, then we'd be thinking, oh, cool, he's coming to help out Macho and Sting. Or... Was it Macho and Sting?
I think it was... Yeah, I think it was Macho and Sting.
Macho, Sting, and somebody else. But... And then all of a sudden he just drops the boot on Macho Man and everyone's like... You could hear the audible gasp from everybody. Like, it was... What the hell?
And then the trash being thrown into the ring right after.
I don't know what's more impressive. The fact that they were able to throw trash in there and it actually get into the ring, or... The fact that, to me, that was impactful, but I think the one that was more impactful was whenever Terry Funk asked for a chair in ECW and everyone just started hurling the chairs. But that leads to my number 4. He's not a wrestler. He's had wrestling matches, but he's not a wrestler. He has been in WCW, ECW, and WWE for years. He's been there. He's been a part of wrestling since late 80s, early 90s. I can't really remember when he started. But he's helped many people over the years. Wrestlers, producers, managers, whatever. And he is the greatest manager of all time. Paul Heyman. Like I always told myself, if I somehow ever became a wrestler, I would want to be a Paul Heyman guy. Because that was guaranteed success. The only 2 people I know in my mind that has never had guaranteed success when it came to being a Paul Heyman guy, Cesaro and Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Curtis Axel did win the Intercontinental Championship when he was with him, but still, that was about it. But
it's not where I thought it was going to go for...
Who do you think I was going to go with?
I thought you were going to say VKM.
No.
Yeah. Because he made the company what it was, but it ended not the greatest.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. No. Like the one person who I would want to add on the Mount Rushmore, like I've have Mount Rushmores for every category regarding like technicians, high flyers, brawlers, strikers, and whatnot. And there's one that pops in through majority of those Mount Rushmores, but people don't like to talk about him.
Yeah.
But I like Paul Heyman said about that particular guy. As a performer, one of the greatest of all time, but as a human being, fuck him, which I agree with. Still, irregardless, me, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Paul Heyman. If Paul Heyman was not going to be on that list, like if I took him out and added like another wrestler that was instantly recognizable, then I would, as much as I love Shawn Michaels, I would have to give it to Bret Hart. That hurts me to say it.
Technical
ability. Because the only person who I can honestly say could give him a run for his money when it comes to being an excellence of execution is probably Brian Danielson.
I would argue maybe Kurt Angle.
Yes, Kurt Angle. Oh, especially Perk Angle era. Yeah. Oh my God.
Especially Perk Angle era.
But irregardless, that is basically a little bit about us. Now we can go into the official. What's up?
Well, we could give one more.
What's that?
Favorite match.
Now you're cutting into the fucking steak and potatoes. Okay, pardon the language. I mean, I'm going to have to figure out how to bleep it and edit this part. Or, you know what? We're leaving it in. Because I know I'm going to be cursing and not even realizing it. That's a good question.
I already have mine.
What's yours?
I believe it was Mania X7?
17, okay.
I think it was X7. TLC, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Jeff Hardy.
Well, they did 2 Manias in a row.
Well, the one everybody knows, Spear off the
ladder. I think that was 17. Wait,
I think that was X7.
Yeah, that was X7 because that was the year that basically Steve Austin sold his soul to the devil, aligned with, so. And that was in the Astrodome in Houston. So yeah, that was 17.
That is my favorite match.
Okay, that's not a bad one. There are
some really good contenders though of others that
could
be
like
even better.
You're putting me in a tough spot because my favorite match has changed over the years because for a while I remember for like a little bit that the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in at Mania in Dallas, whenever Cody returned, that was the one that actually kickstarted my idea of trying to actually pursue being a wrestler again. But I think I don't want to say Shawn versus Taker 2 at 26.
I do remember one of your answers before.
What was that?
I don't remember what event it was, but it was Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle.
Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. That was WrestleMania 21 when it went Hollywood. That is a damn outstanding match. I love that match to death because, like, at the time that was still about I think 2-3 years after Shawn had come back from retirement, and Kurt Angle had a big problem. The whole angle where he's like, back in 1996, I won the Olympic wrestling matches with a broken freaking neck, and all I could hear was Shawn Michaels rafting from the rafters at WrestleMania 12. I'm like, I mean, it's a good reason to hate the guy. I mean, like, he was red hot at the time, but I mean, it's no Olympic gold fucking medal. But that is a good one. There's also like other like for another good while it was the TLC match between Jeff Hardy and CM Punk at SummerSlam 2009, and then there was the there was for a short while. You know what? No, I gotta say this. Probably favorite match of all time. Undertaker versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee at WrestleMania 29.
So yeah, since you're mentioning a bunch of yours, that one would be top 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say also in the top 3 was Royal Rumble 2017, AJ versus Cena.
Oh, the one, yeah, that was. I mean, we got to see that. We got to see that live. The entire time that match was happening, I remember Dad kept tapping me on the shoulder. I was like, "Where the hell can we get those autographed John Cena pictures? I want to get one."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You like Cena? Dude, we're in the middle of the match. Watch the match."
Yeah, that was the match that made me really realize that AJ is, like his name's just phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
Before that, I never really saw anything by AJ Styles, but after that, I remember... I don't remember how long it took, but it might have been like a week, but I remember seeing videos of his TNA stuff and just falling in love with it.
Yeah, like, give me like a day and a half. I can get you like a compilation of when he was in the X Division in TNA. Oh, my God.
Like doing full backflips over the ropes. Like, he was just phenomenal.
And then, like, I got into the era of TNA back when, like, when I started watching TNA, Samoa Joe was still there. Jeff Jarrett was basically still being the Hogan of TNA.
Yeah.
And a lot of great up-and-comers. Like, AJ Styles was still up-and-coming. He was still, like, trying to make a name for himself. And he absolutely did.
Yep.
But then whenever I stopped watching TNA for a little bit and went back, Kurt Angle was the, like, a manager aspect. Jeff Hardy was Willow.
Yeah.
But...
Was that whenever Hogan was in the picture?
I think Hogan had just stepped down from that picture. Because all I know is when I stopped watching it, Hogan had just started coming in. And, I mean, I remember, like, tuning in every once in a while. And what really stopped me from watching it, which a lot of people, when I tell people this, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? That was, like, one of the greatest parts, was whenever Sting was going into his Joker era.
Oh. Yeah.
And, like, 'cause I remember there was one episode I watched where Sting came with a baseball bat, hit Hogan in the stomach, and Hogan's, like, in the corner just like, and Sting's, like, feeding him his vitamins, and he's, like, eating the vitamins with him in the corner. Basically reminiscing, I think they were trying to rip off, or I don't know if it was a rip off or it was before.
It was the same year.
It was the same year?
Yeah.
Where Vince was in the corner and Triple H was like, hey, buddy. And I was like, okay. That was just... Really?
Actually, wait, wasn't it? I think it was...
I think it was around the same time. Did you actually know that TNA went HD before WWE?
Yeah, I saw that. That they did that. They went HD before Royal Rumble 08.
I was like, what the hell? Like... Don't get me wrong, I still was always a fan of, like, the grainy looking style, but whenever they went to HD, I was like...
Yeah. You're like, am I seeing real life right now?
Did my glasses get better? Like, what the hell? So... Now we can talk a little bit about wrestling news. I don't know all what you know, but I actually read some stuff yesterday preparing for this, and I also saw some stuff today.
I keep up. I dabble a little bit.
I would like to actually acknowledge somebody, not the Tribal Chief, but I do acknowledge him.
Real Tribal Chief, by the way.
Former heavyweight champion in WWE and now former AEW talent has announced that he is officially retired from the wrestling business and is now starting his own trucking company. And to which Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger, me personally, I know you got yourself at least a very good job in the United States, outstanding job. But we wish you best in your future endeavors, and we thank you for being a scumbag that we hated, but a scumbag that was very talented. No disrespect. Like, he could put on some matches.
Yeah, he could have been something great.
If they build him right, he would have been outstanding. I mean, like I said, he was a former world champion.
Yeah. Only problem that he really had was he didn't have the mic skills.
He did not have the mic skills. And I do not make fun of people with disabilities. This is not me making fun of him, but the lisp was not helping as well because, like...
Well, you can make the lisp work. We know that with Cody.
That is true. That is actually true. But, like, with Jack, he didn't believe himself in the promo, and the lisp was also just like a little pebble thrown in the face. It just got worse every time he, like, talked and you heard the lisp and you hear people in the crowd laughing.
Yeah. The one thing I can always thank Jake Hager or Jack Swagger was for me thinking as a kid that he had the coolest entrance ever, where he dropped down and did the push-ups on the ramp.
Oh, dude! I mean, like, the best one that I remember though is whenever he was the fucking trainer for Michael Cole at WrestleMania 27. He's doing the push-ups. All of a sudden, you hear the glass shatter, and he just stops, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
But, like, no. In all honesty, my favorite match that I've ever seen Jack Swagger or Jake Hager perform was Backlash 2009 when he was defending the ECW championship against Christian.
Oh yeah, he was the ECW champion.
He actually, yeah, that's right. So he was a 2-time, or 3-time.
I think 2-time.
No, I think he won the ECW title twice.
He might have. I don't remember a lot of.
No, that's right. Yeah, okay. If I remember correctly, I remember a lot of wrestling knowledge. You know, I remember a lot of wrestling knowledge. If I remember correctly, there was a triple threat match. Jack Swagger was the champion at the time, and he was defending. I can't remember who the third competitor was. I think it may have been Shelton Benjamin. But the other competitor was Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer won it. He won the title, and then he defended the title against Swagger, and Swagger won it again. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, that match was also Tommy Dreamer's last match because he put his career on the line.
Yeah.
Or he was forced to put his career on the line. That era was like real hazy.
Yeah,
but
that WWE's ECW was not...
It was not what it was. Like, if they gave...
It just felt like another sideshow.
It was. It was just it was basically ECW before it was basically TNA... Not TNA... Why the hell am I saying TNA? NXT before NXT became what it is today.
Yeah. Because all of the ECW talent went straight to Raw or SmackDown after ECW was gone.
Yeah. But, like, don't get me wrong, there were some aspects of ECW that I liked. I mean, Johnny Nitro, who eventually became John Morrison, he found himself in ECW. Granted, he found himself after a dark history of wrestling happened, but it still happened. And then CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk signing was the best thing that happened to ECW.
In all honesty,
or that version of ECW, I should say.
If Vince did what Paul asked and had Paul in full control of ECW, more than likely ECW would have been what it originally was still. Mm-hmm. And it could have been going on to this day.
I don't know about to this day, but I would definitely say it would have lasted a lot longer.
Probably
2015 era.
I mean, the biggest disappointment ECW ever had was the November to Dismember pay-per-view, and that was all.
It was December to Dismember.
Or December to Dismember. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's still the lowest performing pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, and still, I blame Vince for fucking that shit up because he, like, if Paul got his way and did what he wanted to do, like he said multiple times, CM Punk was going to win that chamber match.
And then he got eliminated first.
Which was the biggest, like, what the fuck? At least make him, like, at least have him be, like, second place.
Yeah, they had Big Show in the match. Why did they get rid of CM Punk first?
Exactly. But, I mean, like, he walked in as the champion, though, so, you know, the champion needs to have his... Yeah. But, like, no disrespect to Bobby Lashley. I thought, you know, putting the strap on Bobby Lashley at least a little bit was a good idea, but...
But Bobby Lashley wasn't an ECW guy. He was complete opposite of what ECW was supposed to be.
Exactly. Completely opposite. Like, CM Punk, perfect to put the strap on. And eventually he did get the strap. It felt a little too late, but he still ran with it and still did an amazing job with it. Mm-hmm. But... You see how I told you we were going to, like, veer off.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what I love about me and you being the only two people in this podcast. Because two wrestling fans get to talk about what we love. We love professional wrestling. Now, next on the news. I woke up this morning. Opened up my phone. First thing I saw was... He's been released. He's been fired. And I do not know if it's 100% true. I've been looking for hours. Have not found anything. But there has been speculated rumors that Austin Theory has been released. Now, I know he was off on the sidelines with an injury. So you know for a fact there have been people who've been released while injured.
Yeah.
So, like, in all honesty, it wouldn't surprise me if they did release Austin Theory. However, I would say that is such wasted potential.
I'm going to check something really quick, because usually, a lot of the time, if a wrestler is released, they get released from the internal roster. So I'm going to check and see if he's still on the roster right now.
Okay. And while you're doing that, can you also see if Zoe Stark is still there? Because, like, in all honesty, Zoe Stark, she's not a bad performer, but she is injury prone, like, a lot. So I could see if WWE were to release her. But still, if Austin Theory is released, I mean, like, okay, I was on the bandwagon. I wouldn't say bandwagon, but I was with everybody whenever we got sick and tired of Austin Theory on our television screens for so long during the last leg of Vince's control. Like, the whole him winning Money in the Bank and then cashing it in on a United States Championship.
Yeah, that really brought down the credibility of Money in the Bank.
That really did. Like, I was okay, so Austin Theory winning Money in the Bank, I had a small problem with it, but not too big of a problem with it, because, like, I was thinking, fresh new face, could lead the company in the future.
Okay, so Austin Theory is not removed from internal roster yet.
Okay.
He is moved to the injured list.
Okay. So we're good for so far, but there have, like, that was starting to worry me, because, like, I think Austin Theory would be great, especially now the whole Grayson Waller saying A-Town Down Under is no more, and he's, like, aligning himself with the New Day, which, real quick, we'll get back to the thing. I'm veering off again. What the hell was Xavier Woods wearing on Monday Night Raw?
I have no clue.
Like, he was wearing, like, an umbrella on his head.
Yeah, but, I mean, we got Penta wear it, so that's...
Penta pulled it off, though.
Yeah.
But no. Okay, so, like...
It also seems that Zoe Stark is also just on the injured list.
Okay. But yeah, no. Theory, if they build him right, he has a chance of becoming a top star. Absolute top star. But...
Yeah, the only problem is his characters are just not the best right now. He didn't really succeed well in that whole selfie gimmick. That was... really old.
It got really old really fast, plus he was not a photogenic person. I mean, like, literally whenever he was doing the picture with Vince McMahon after he won the, the United States Championship, that big-ass smile looking like a pot of greed from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. Like, he just straight up but, like, that did not work. He was not a photogenic person. He could not take photos to save his life.
But whenever he went all... technically Hollywood-ish.
Yeah.
With, like, Hollywood rock-ish.
Yeah.
He pulled that off for a while.
Yes, he did.
Then they took it away from him. They went straight to A-Town Down Under.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they did. And as much as I hate saying this, Cena was 100% right. It was a lose-lose situation facing him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because, like, if he won, they would boo him the next day, like how they booed Roman whenever he beat The Undertaker at Mania. They just booed him mercilessly. He couldn't get a word out. And if he had lost to John Cena, he would have lost everything. Yeah. So it was a lose-lose situation. In all honesty, I want Austin Theory to come back, and I want him to come back in a major way.
I would say come back majorly heelish.
He would work good as a heel. He would work the best as a heel, because he can get people to hate him, no problem.
Yeah.
But at least make him top-tier mid-carder, to where he can prove himself as a top guy, like climb the mountain. Do not just put him on the top of the mountain instantly, because then you're going to just bury him under that mountain. Next person who I want to talk about possibly, there's rumors revolving around his status in the WWE, is Karrion Kross. As we all know, Karrion Kross's contract is coming up really soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the fact that he could possibly be leaving the WWE.
Yeah.
Like, when he came back and he put the hourglass in front of the bloodline, I was like, what is he cooking?
His character of just him basically telling the future of WWE is so good.
So good. Absolutely amazing. I love it. But
and the small little details and stuff that he puts in, like how he changed his hair every single time to match the wrestler.
Yes, like when it was AJ Styles, he had it flowing down. Whenever it's fucking Sami Zayn, he has it in a bun.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I want to see him get in the face of, like, say, The Rock or somebody, and he's either wearing a bald cap or he just shaves the hair off completely.
You know it could be better than The Rock. He gets in front of Triple H.
I mean, he did have that whole blasting promo night after Mania.
Yeah, one of the best pipe bomb promos I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it to me it was comparable to the pipe bomb.
Yes.
But like, in all honesty, I do not want to see Karrion go. That is 100% potential that they would waste, and I would hate it. I would fucking hate it. Because, like, whenever he was in NXT, before they made him go to the main roster and look like fucking Gladiator.
Yeah, like he said himself, I'm wrestling for gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whenever he was in NXT, bald, NXT champion, he was untouchable. He was a badass. He was scary. He was hateable.
He had a good manager with Scarlett.
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. He was amazing.
Or has a good manager.
He has a good manager with Scarlett. Now, I think, in all honesty, they should let him loose a little bit with the reins. Let him do what he would like to do. Because he has a mind for the business. He needs to reinvent himself, but not change a thing, if that makes sense. Like, he's already perfect, but he needs to be put in a storyline to show what he can do.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, he's basically been an enhancement talent.
Yes, and I hate that. Like, it's how I feel with how they're doing with Shinsuke Nakamura. Mm-hmm. He was like, what, a 6-time IWGP champion?
Yeah, one of the biggest talents in Japan.
Let me fact check that real quick, because I say I watch New Japan, but like I'm so hazy with some of the stuff.
New Japan was probably the one that I didn't watch too much, because a lot of the matches, I don't know, a lot of them they didn't really catch me, but I know that there are some really, really good matches in IWGP.
Let's see. He's a Wait, no. Okay, sorry. I got the titles mixed up. He's a 5-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion, but he's a 3-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. So, one of the biggest Japanese wrestlers.
Of all time.
Yeah.
And then, like, whenever Shinsuke came to NXT, I was excited. I was more than excited, especially whenever his first match was against Sami Zayn. That was incredible. And then his rivalry with Samoa Joe. When he came to the main roster, I was thrilled. Yeah. You saw me lose my shit whenever he won the Royal Rumble. I was floored. I was like, yes, we are getting somewhere.
Yeah, but little did we know, him winning the Royal was the downfall. It was the start of the downfall.
It was the start of the downfall. Like, in all honesty, You can call me crazy. Call me crazy you want. Yes, on paper, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a big ticket money sale right there. However,
they've done it multiple times.
Exactly. You can't do that. Now, granted, I can understand why they did it because it would be a much safer option instead of him going up against Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. However, Brock Lesnar once was a IWGP champion as well. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a former IWGP champion. He was a IWGP champion. Yeah, he became the champion over there shortly after he left WWE the first run. And he actually got sued because of that, because he competed with it, I think within the 60-day no compete clause in the contract.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea that happened.
Yeah, he did that. But that was before he also went to UFC.
And then dominated UFC for a while.
Dominated. But no, like, I can understand why they didn't want to do that, especially since Vince was still in control and Vince was shoving fucking Roman Reigns down our goddamn throats at the time. Mm-hmm. This is before the Tribal Chief. This is back when he was still the big dog.
Yeah.
We already saw that match, and you know what you did? You took a big dump in our mouths the first time so bad that you had to send Seth Rollins out to cash in the Money in the Bank. Granted, I understand he pitched the idea months in advance. It was great on paper, and it became the heist of the century. Greatest thing to ever happen at Mania. It saved the match, in all honesty.
Yeah.
We don't want to see the Beast incarnate, someone who could wreck something, go up against a guy who looks like The Rock, but you're billing him as Cena. We didn't want to see that. I would have actually liked to see Shinsuke versus Brock.
I definitely think that could have been a really good match.
Exactly. You got two different styles. You got like a fucking strong style, which is a lot of offense, heavy-hitting offense, versus a guy who just is wanting basically a suplex machine, like the love child between Kurt Angle and Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's all you had. Like, just looked like Goldberg, but it was a suplexing beast like Kurt Angle. Granted, I know Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar came up around the same time.
Yeah.
Irregardless, you get my point. Fucking, he is the Beast. A guy who literally is the person who broke the Undertaker streak, which was the wrong call.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation for another day.
100%, yep.
But he's the guy who broke the streak of The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He dominated at UFC. He was the youngest WWE champion at that time, of all time.
At the time.
At the time, yes. And then Randy Orton was the youngest world heavyweight champion. But still, he was the youngest WWE champion of that time. And he came back and not only, like I said, beat Undertaker, but literally killed John Cena at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Just killed him.
That was the I agree with what some people said. That was the night that Super Cena died.
Yeah, that was like he dead, but like no, he was gone. He needed milk. He needed his milk. Now, but Kurt Angle was on the run. But still. That version of Brock Lesnar versus Shinsuke Nakamura, a guy who is a legend in Japan, a guy who was trying to make a name for himself, that would have been the probably better pick. Mm-hmm. Absolute better pick. Granted, that would have been like, okay, if that was the pick, who would AJ Styles fought for that year? That's also another damn good question. Knowing Vince's ass, he would have put Roman Reigns.
Probably.
But it wouldn't have worked. Still, Shinsuke, Brock, that would have been better. But we got AJ versus Shinsuke. And that, like I said, it was the downfall. Because then he turned heel. And then there was the whole, sorry, no speak English era.
Yeah. And also, he was really obsessed with nut shots.
He's just like the feeling on his elbows or the inner elbow. But no, like, oh my god. Then I love wrestling to death, I will say this in full confidence. I know a lot of people will be like, no. I don't know whether or not you'll be like, no. But ever since Vince has stepped down, wrestling has slowly but surely gotten better in the WWE.
I would say iffy on that, because a lot of what wrestling has changed, and some of it for the worse. Like, we don't need advertisements on tables.
Yeah, we don't.
That's really not...
The ring mat, that's fine. The ring mat's fine. Tables, not so much.
I don't know. I would say, like, the ring mat to an extent. I would say... Because the ring mat is sacred to them. To all wrestlers.
Yes.
And whenever you put nothing but advertisements on it, it looks stupid.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They're like... I can understand why they're doing it, though. Because, like, for years, TNA had stuff on their mats. For years... UFC, yes. And then even AEW, they put stuff on their mats. Yeah. Now, WWE was the one and only wrestling company for years that didn't have advertisements. I mean, hell, WCW had advertisements on their mats. WWE, for the longest time, was the one company that did not put advertisements on their mats. And I can understand that since Triple H is now in charge... in all honesty, I don't even think it's a Triple H decision. I think it's a TKO's decision. Which, by the way, in all honesty, I know I'm gonna. No, actually, I know I'm gonna have people behind me on this. Fuck TKO.
Yeah, I really feel like TKO is in charge of all of the bad things in WWE right now.
I mean, hell, do you hear about what they're doing soon for next year?
What's going on?
They're taking premium live events off Peacock and putting it on ESPN. You know what that means? We do not pay $7.99 a month for wrestling PLEs. We're now having to pay $30.
Yeah, that's it's not great.
Not a good decision at all. Peacock was one of the greatest things that ever happened when it came to the wrestling PLEs for WWE. Because $7.99 a month. That's nothing. But the fact that whenever we only pay for not just for the PLE, we'd also be paying for television shows, movies, all these great things. With ESPN, we're just getting sports. I mean, yes, sports is great. I love sports. But $30 a month? If I remember correctly, because I used to get the pay-per-views months after they released on DVD at Blockbuster, back whenever Blockbuster was still open.
God rest his soul.
Yes, I miss Blockbuster to death. But I used to get the pay-per-views on DVD at Blockbuster all the time until eventually I started buying it from the shelves at Walmart. Mm-hmm. That's how I'd watch my wrestling pay-per-views. I know I'd be behind for a few months, but I still like to watch the matches. So whenever it was $7.99 or $9.99 a month on the WWE Network, which I still actually kind of miss, whenever it was $9.99 a month on the WWE Network, I'd watch it. Whenever it moved to Peacock and became $7.99 a month, I watched it, but then I also watched other television shows and movies. Like, for instance, on Peacock, I'm watching Twisted Metal. Mm-hmm. And then, now you're telling me I'm having to pay $30 a month when pay-per-views used to be $40 to $50 a month. Or $50 or $40 each pay-per-view. Yeah. I'm not liking that.
It's like going from, like, in video game, like, speak. It's like going from Cyberpunk to Far Cry Primal. It's just, we're in the future, now we're going back for whatever reason.
Yeah, like, what the hell? So it's frustrating, absolutely frustrating. But it's something we're going to have to deal with. I'm not a fan of it. Fuck TKO's decision about that. They're greedy, money-hungry a-holes. Mm-hmm. But as much as I hate to admit this, I'm still going to have to pay the $30 a month just so I can watch my wrestling pay-per-views. Or PLEs.
And... One, I'm losing my train of thought here. I don't know. Keep talking, and it might come back.
But I don't. Okay. Now we're gonna get to the thing that might actually start some debates between me and you.
Okay.
I want to introduce a system called good decision, bad decision.
Okay.
I'm going to hit you with a list of scenarios that has happened, whether it was good, whether it was bad. Give me your thoughts.
Okay.
And this is regarding all forms of wrestling. And I'm going to start off with the one that actually kind of stinged with me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad? MJF staying with AEW.
I would say, I mean, I get why he did it, so it's good in that sense, but in terms of how big of a person he is, it's a bad decision.
Yes. Like, I say it's a bad decision that he stayed in AEW.
Because it's a good decision for him because he's basically a top guy.
Yeah.
Like, he is, whenever I think AEW, I think of MJF.
Yes.
In particular.
Yes.
But he could be an even bigger guy if he goes to WWE.
Yes. Like, in all honesty, like, how he came back was great. Like, he immediately went for the guy who screwed him over and cost him the AEW World Championship. But, unfortunately for him, that guy is injury prone as a freaking gnat now.
Yeah.
Like, whenever he was in WWE, he was the man of steel. He couldn't get injured. But ever since he was in AEW, he's getting hurt left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that whole, what is it, Hurt Syndicate?
Oh, yeah.
That Hurt Syndicate story, it's not paying off. It's just straight up, like it got to so bad to the point, like literally after a month and a half or two of him being added to the group, he's kicked out of the group.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he still has the contract for him to have an AEW World title match at any point in time, which I think is a cool idea, but like, no. Like, imagine the pop that he would have gotten if he had entered this year's Royal Rumble.
It would have broken everything.
It would have.
Like, the roof would have caved in by the amount of noise.
Yeah. I mean, granted, like, every AEW star that we've gotten so far is just going to NXT. I mean, Ricky Starks, or now Ricky Saints. Yeah, Ricky Saints, and then Mariah May. I can't even remember the name that she has now.
I can't remember either.
But like,
Ethan Page, even though you don't like him.
I never liked Ethan Page.
I've
never liked Ethan Page.
I think he has potential as a good top guy, or at least like a top mid-carder.
Possibly, but he has that face you just want to punch. Like, I've never seen a face that I wanted to punch so much more harder than 2005 to 2008, The Miz. And hell, even for like a little bit, 2014 to 2018 Miz.
Yeah.
But like, Ethan Page, no. I can understand why they did it, but no. Oh, and then, what's his name? He was originally, Ty Dillinger. He was originally Ty Dillinger.
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears, thank you. Yeah, so like they also signed him. And,
Which was a good signing.
That was a good signing. But keep him away from chairs and Cody. Okay. Good or bad decision? The whole Firefly Funhouse match.
In the John Cena match?
The John Cena Firefly Funhouse match.
Good decision.
Good decision?
Good decision.
Good decision.
Because honestly kind of pushed him towards the heel as well.
That is a good...
We know that entire match is a fantastic match, just because it tells his story, and it shows his problems and insecurities, and it showed what he really wanted to do in their first Mania match whenever he went to hit Bray with the chair. So he always had that heel in him. He just pushed it back.
Yeah. And then the whole NWO...
Yeah, him going Hollywood.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I agree with you on those aspects. However, there were some aspects that were also very, very cringy and very boring.
Well,
the whole Saturday night main event, pumping iron.
I thought that it was basically cringy, but it was also just pointing out his background with bodybuilding.
That is also a good point, yeah. But in all, it was not a bad idea. I just think maybe if they tweaked one or two things, they could have probably made it a little better. Because, here's the thing. You saw me whenever Bray Wyatt returned at Extreme Rules. You saw that I was bawling my eyes out because whenever he was alive, rest in peace, he was my favorite current wrestler on the roster. And whenever he did the whole promo talking about it's just him being him and he's back and everything.
I'm not ashamed to...
Crying.
Yeah.
I was anime crying. You saw the fucking tears sparkle from the side while also pouring down my face.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit. I put out a few manly tears there.
Oh, no. I was, bawling like a baby. And then whenever I heard the news that he passed... The whole house was flooded with my tears.
I genuinely didn't believe you whenever you said that. And as soon as I saw everywhere that he passed, everything just in my world just stopped.
Yes. It was one of those instances where you could hear a clock off in the distance, and whenever you realized it happened, you heard that last tick and it just stopped. Silence, nothing. That's how I felt whenever I found out he passed. I was like, no. I had just woken up, I looked up my phone, and I did not get out of bed for at least 7 hours.
Yeah, and we together know that he was just getting started on his story and his return. It could have been so much more. And the potential of what his storylines were going to be is the biggest potential.
The biggest what-if story of all time.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to that, I was going to be a little bit iffy when it came to him versus Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, but he could have probably pulled it off, especially with Uncle Howdy in the mix, attacking him as well. That was ooh. Which leads me to my next thing, which is revolving around Bray for the next two questions. The Mountain Dew Pitch Black match between LA Knight and him.
I would say good decision as a match, but the whole pitch black part of it was bad. I think it added to the match. It was cool for a while, but you couldn't really see a lot of what was happening. Number one. And number two, the end was iffy. I wasn't a huge fan of Uncle Howdy doing the last hit.
Yeah.
Because he just kind of showed up out of nowhere and dropped an elbow, and that was about it.
And he also missed.
Yeah, that too. But I thought the face paint was cool.
The face paint was phenomenal.
Them breaking the table and all of the fireflies, quote unquote, coming out, that was cool.
Yeah.
But that was about the coolest stuff in the match. Everything else was...
I mean, I did like the Photoshop, or not the Photoshop, but the photo finish image of that match where it's as soon as Howdy hit the elbow and then the fire arose and everything, the fire's crickling, and all of a sudden Bray's just standing there with all the humanoid puppets watching over the corner with him. I was like, oh, that's a killer shot right there.
Yeah.
next question regarding the Wyatt verse. I like to call it the Wyatt verse.
Mm-hmm.
The Wyatt 6 continuing on with the legacy.
Good idea.
Good idea?
Because it really is just a win-win for everything. We're continuing Bray's legacy, and it's showing how much Bo Dallas can go.
Yes.
He was basically wasted once he reached the main roster. He was good in NXT.
Yes.
He was really good in NXT. I liked him in NXT. But as soon as he went to main roster with all the Bo Leave stuff, that was completely his character dying and everything he stood for. As soon as he comes back and he's doing all of these, he's doing the promo that he did with himself and Uncle Howdy, that was phenomenal.
I just got goosebumps thinking about
And
that promo.
It was just all him.
Yeah.
Just all him.
Yeah.
And him asking the question, do you think you're exploiting your brother's life by continuing this? That just was everything.
And then it's also another win-win because, like, brought Eric Rowan back to the company.
It brought Eric. It also, it is giving a lot of life to characters, or it's giving a lot of life and character to people who they had no idea what to do with.
Exactly, like Nikki Cross, she'd been on the main roster for about 5-6 years at that point, and that whole Nikki ASH was so fucking terrible.
That was probably the lowest point in her career.
She thought it was she was given something with it and ran with it. I respect that, but it was so bad. And then whenever she won the Money in the Bank, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And then she won the 24/7 and missed the trash can whenever she dropped the title.
Hey, she was just trying to do her best LeBron James impersonation. But no,
And
then Dexter Lumis, yes, exactly.
He's doing fantastic.
Outstanding. Okay, in all honesty, I fear Dexter Lumis in a part of the Wyatt 6 than I ever did whenever he was on NXT. Because in NXT, he had the slick hair, he had the gloves. He basically was just a muted WWE version of Dexter Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the fact that he's now a part of the Wyatt 6, dreads, black makeup and everything, he actually looks like he's a real fucking killer. Mm-hmm. He looks intimidating. I was scared whenever, he was just sitting in the corner, crisscross with the mask, and he's just because I knew it was Dexter Lumis because of the tattoos.
Yeah.
I knew it was him. And then Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy's looking great right now.
In all honesty, I had a love-hate relationship when it came to Joe Gacy in NXT. I loved the idea of him, the presence of him. I just didn't like the whole cult-ish stuff, especially with those stupid masks. Yeah. I wasn't a fan of that. But now, whenever he's a part of the Wyatt 6, and him and Dexter as a tag team works. Mm-hmm. It works.
And circling back to Rowan, him having the memories of Luke Harper as well in the storyline and in his outfit is perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still got the Bludgeon Brothers mallet.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, every time he's doing the hand and I feel so sorry for Eric because he lost 2 of his best friends. Bo lost 2 friends and a brother. Mm-hmm. One of the friends is his brother. He lost everything.
And as much as this might be something that you might debate me on, I wish, even though that he was such a minor part of the originals, I wish that they somehow figured out a way for Strowman to be in the 6.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been great, but I gotta understand why they didn't do it. Yeah. Because he had already proven himself as a main event star in his own right, but whenever he came back, he
was with Ricochet and all of that stuff happened.
Yeah, it didn't work, and it sucks to see that he's once again let go. He's not worth the company anymore, but from what I've seen from his Instagrams, he's actually living out his best life at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, probably the last good or bad decision. How they executed John Cena's heel turn.
How they executed it or the idea of it?
Let's say both.
Idea was good. Execution, the biggest waste ever.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
He could have had such a good run, but all of his run as a heel was Travis Scott. All of his run was The Rock not wanting to continue.
And then that whole...
Yeah. And everything that could have happened with music change, he could have found that old theme that he was talking about.
I want him to fucking release it either way.
He could have found it, and that would have added so much. And he could have changed his look like he said he was going to do with boxing trunks and like all of like the cowering and stuff that he said he was going to do. But all his run was, you're not getting any of that. And that was boring.
If I can understand, like, whenever he did the, what did we get? What did we get? You get nothing. I'm like, give us a little something.
I thought it was cool at the time, and then thinking back on it, it's not at all the right decision of what he should have done.
No. I mean, the things that he did that I actually liked. I liked the whole not acknowledging Stu anymore.
Yeah.
The flipping the rag behind his head and walking.
Just the Titantron just be John Cena.
Black with the white letters John Cena. It was perfect. The number one thing I hated was the fact that he was wearing the title backwards.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I mean, it was cool for the first time whenever he first won it, but then after that, it was like, really, you gotta continue doing that.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck.
But another part of it that I really hated, or I liked it, but I hated the fact that everything else was just terrible, was the CM Punk feud. It was amazing. Like, that entire 2 or 3 weeks that he had that feud was the best part of his heel turn.
Oh, yeah.
But everything else just makes it trash.
The whole Randy Orton legacy one, like the whole Randy Orton era, like the reunite or rekindling of that rivalry.
The match was okay.
It was okay.
Because the crowd made it work. Because
how
many times are you going to do Randy versus Cena? We've seen basically everything that you can.
They've done it like 23 times or so.
Yeah, it's like one of the most iconic rivalries. So, yeah, you've seen it happen multiple times. You could maybe do something new, but they just didn't.
The thing I hated, like, the match was so good in and of itself, but the thing I hated, the thing that just ruined it for me, which ultimately led to a whole uproar, was the whole R-Truth coming out to the end trying to save his childhood hero aspect. I hated that. I was like, R-Truth, you like, why are you getting in front of Orton? Let him RKO. Oh, match is over.
See, we'll go into that later because I have some stuff to say about Truth. But another part of why it's such a bad heel turn is the end. The whole Cody thing, the whole Cody storyline was just kind of boring. It's just another like
finish the story like the first run, or get it the second time.
The second time. This is the most recent one.
Okay.
It was boring at first, and then as soon as he flipped, it was just like, why are we doing? What was the whole point of this?
Too late. You're freaking too late.
Yeah. Now he's all back to being happy hunky dory, whatever. But it's just like, why? What was the whole point of this run?
Like, okay, hear me out. If you know what would have been a better thing to do? Make it seem like John Cena did all that to lower Cody's guard. Because like it would have worked so much better. Like if Cody thinks that he was actually wrestling the real John Cena, the John Cena that we grew up and loved and everything like that. All of a sudden, towards the end of the match, once again, he just gives Cody a low blow and just looks at him with that stone cold evil.
I had a thought that was going to happen, but I have small conspiracy here that they were trying to see what the crowd's reaction was to him turning face again. If it was a good reaction, they would have stayed with him being face. But if it was just a meh reaction, they would have continued with his heel run.
That's not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad theory right there. I do like that a lot. Plus, the whole returning, which... I want to state this on the record. My brother can confirm this. At least a week and a half before SummerSlam even happened, I called Brock Lesnar was returning to SummerSlam.
Yeah, you randomly texted me out of the blue.
I was at work and I texted you that shit.
You randomly texted me out of the blue and you were like, hear me out. Who is the one guy who is known for beating Cena at SummerSlam? And you were saying Brock Lesnar, and I was thinking it's a good idea, but I don't know if it's gonna happen yet.
Here's the whole scenario. I was at work moving boxes of bananas, and it just clicked in my head, and I was like, I gotta let my brother know about this because you're my go-to wrestling buddy to talk to. I was like, okay, I gotta let him know. I pulled out my phone, and since I was moving the boxes, I just hit the record voice button and just all right, hear me out. I've been noticing a lot of things, and Triple H likes to put these little hints, Easter eggs, whatnots to what could possibly happen. And at the time that this was going on, they were releasing videos on their YouTube, the top 25 matches of SummerSlam of all time. And for a good portion of those matches, all you saw was Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar versus The Rock, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, blah, 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 right? It was just Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. And I was like, okay, they're talking about Brock Lesnar. And there had always been rumors that Brock Lesnar was done with the court cases that he was involved with. He was proven innocent. We'll probably talk about that another time.
Yeah.
He was proven innocent. He was fine. He was welcome to come back to the WWE. And literally, SummerSlam 2022, that's when he came back and confronted Roman when he was still the tribal chief and still the champion. The next year after that, he left the WWE after SummerSlam after fighting Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. And then he missed last year's SummerSlam, and he came back to this year's SummerSlam. He is, in all honesty, other than Hulk Hogan, the king of SummerSlam.
Yeah, and
I mean, come on, literally, wasn't one of the promos for SummerSlam back in 2003 him F5ing a shark?
Yeah, it was the commercial. But the one thing that also makes me really upset about this whole thing, we could have seen heel Cena versus Brock for one time, but they kept him as a face.
There's also a lot of fans hoping, praying for a certain match to happen sometime during or after October before Cena leaves. Mm. A certain AEW superstar's contract is going to be ending in October.
That could be anybody because it's AEW.
But it's Cena's past. They're wanting Edge to come back for at least one match. Come on.
I mean,
other than Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, who is Cena's biggest rival?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the rivalries I remember a lot from Edge was the Cena rivalry.
The only other rivalry that would rival Cena versus Edge would either be Jeff Hardy versus Edge or Matt Hardy versus Edge.
Because
maybe Edge versus Undertaker.
Or Edge versus Christian for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
But all I remember, the one thing everybody remembers is the live celebration as soon as he got the title from him.
Other than that, the thing I loved about it was, especially whenever he was with Lita, was the whole calling Lita a slut at the aspect, and then him chucking him in the Long Island Sound, double AAing him off the ladder into 2 tables.
Like, Edge played heel perfectly for years.
Yes.
He was the ultimate opportunist. Like, the most opportunist anybody has ever been.
Mm-hmm.
He took every opportunity to be as slimy as he could. Like, being in love with Vicky Guerrero for a while because she had
power,
general manager, and then having the Money in the Bank multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
He took every opportunity to be the biggest heel ever, and people hated him for that. Like, there were people hating on him so much, like, whenever he was a heel.
He needed, like, private escorts out of the building.
Yeah.
Like, heel Edge will always be the best version of Edge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, in all honesty, the one I love, we've mentioned it multiple times, we love wrestling. Mm-hmm. And in all honesty, I think, like, TNA, I'm so happy that TNA is now collabing with WWE. Mm-hmm. Because now we're getting, like, imagine if Vince didn't have that humongous stick-shaped, like that shoe-shaped stick out of his ass back in, like, 2008, 2009. Imagine the fucking shows we could have seen, like, some of the matches we could have seen. Like, imagine, like, Abyss versus Undertaker, or...
Didn't Abyss also just retire recently?
He retired, and now he's working for WWE as a producer.
Yeah.
Then imagine, like, say, at that time, that era, before he jumped to TNA and continued to ruin his life with the drug abuse. Imagine prime Jeff Hardy versus X Division AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you could have had the absolute biggest box office sell that there could have ever been. Sting versus The Undertaker.
Probably the biggest what if match.
No. Okay. I agree, that is one of the biggest what if matches, but there is only one what if match that tops that, in my opinion. It was supposed to be a match at WrestleMania 22. Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, yeah, that match would have been amazing. But the whole thing with Eddie happened. It was disheartening.
I would have loved... That's basically this generation's idea of Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. A lot of people still want that match, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I can get it, but, like...
Yeah. Shawn, he can't really run in his old age anymore.
He can't run it. I mean, hang on.
I mean, they teased it in the Undertaker podcast.
We're not going to talk about that. That's for next fucking episode, because that's going to, like, But still, like, I would have loved to have seen Eddie. Don't get me wrong. I still loved McMahon versus Shawn at WrestleMania in that street fight, or the no holds barred match. Mm-hmm. But Shawn and Eddie would have tore the fucking out, because, like, even though it was a brief match, the Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle match at WrestleMania 20, one of the greatest matches, in my opinion, between two of the greatest of all time. You had one that was the greatest in technician, one that was a greatest one in fucking high-flying, lying, cheating, and stealing.
Yeah.
He was great. Okay, let me rephrase that. Greatest technician grappling wrestler of all time versus one of the greatest wrestlers in generational history regarding the Guerrero family and Lucha Libre. Like in all honesty, as much as I hate saying this, and I know a lot of people will hate me saying this too, if Eddie didn't die, I don't think Rey Mysterio would have gotten to the level that he is today.
I can kind of see where you're coming from. A lot of momentum was put onto Rey after Eddie's passing because they were like basically inseparable.
Inseparable. But like the thing is, like, if Eddie didn't die, I'm 100% sure that Rey wouldn't have won that Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely feel like going back to the actual what if match itself, I feel like if Eddie didn't die, Eddie versus Shawn probably would have been like one of your favorite matches of all time.
Probably of all time.
Probably the favorite match.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because it has so much like wow to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the thought itself.
Yeah. Like, I love Rey Mysterio. I mean, like, Rey was genuinely... Like, I related to Rey growing up because at the time I was the smallest person in my class, like, growing up. Yeah. So I was small. And I was fat, so that really says something. So...
Meatball running around.
Fuck you. You're the meatball now. Anyway, but, like, no, like, he is good. He's outstanding. He's amazing in what he does. But... when Eddie passed, that skyrocketed him to another level because he became world heavyweight champion. Mm-hmm. He continued on. He became world heavyweight champion another time, and he became WWE champion. Granted, it was only for one night, but still, he became world champion. So, if Eddie hadn't passed, I don't think he would have reached that level.
Yeah.
But... what the hell were we talking about before this?
We were talking about the... what were we talking about?
Biggest what-if matches. It was the... oh, yeah, the Sting versus Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, like, we could have had that.
Well, one other that could have been fantastic, but it wouldn't line up in terms of timeline.
Mm.
If we had prime Daniel Bryan...
Mm-hmm.
versus prime Christopher Daniels.
Ooh! Wait, I thought they already had matches before. Did they? Hang on.
I don't know if they had, or they might have, but in WWE, that would have been amazing.
Okay, give me a second, Brandon.
But I don't know how much time we have left, but I want to, just for a little bit, go back to the heel Cena stuff. I don't know if you saw or not.
Yeah, they have wrestled before.
Okay, I haven't seen anything about it, but I guess it might have been good matches. But going back to the heel Cena stuff, R-Truth was a good part of it for a little bit, but he didn't need to be part of it. And him coming back and him being a heel had so much potential. But they stopped all of that, I think, last night.
Yeah, they did. Like, hear me. Okay, I don't want them to stop with the Ron killings.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want them to stop with the Ron killings.
Yeah, I thought that his promo that he did where he cut his hair on the announce table, that was great.
Yes.
Because it completely changes his character. And I don't say that we wanted that because a lot of people were upset that he changed his character because they wanted just R-Truth back. But him changing his character and being serious could have been something great. Yes.
Like, Ron killings. Like,
we saw a little bit of it in TNA.
If I'm not... yeah, when he was in TNA, he was Ron Killings. And if I'm not... I could be 100% wrong, but if I remember them making a big deal about it, so I think it might be true. He is the first ever African-American NWA World Champion.
I do remember... I think I saw something about that.
So, like, literally, if they had that era of Ron Killings back, money right there.
Just having the truth has set me free. That
when I heard that, I was like, flashbacks.
Yeah, that happening was just the biggest blue ball of a storyline.
That was, man, bring it back.
Yeah, and they all just took that away with one backstage interview, or not even an interview, a whole backstage part of a random.
And yet they made Cena seem like the crazy one.
Yeah, weirdly.
That was weird. Well, in all honesty, it's only been an hour and 25. I think we should probably cut it off like every hour and 30 minutes. Like an hour 30-minute podcast. It's not too bad of an idea.
Yeah, probably.
But I actually had fun doing this. I want to continue doing this. Definitely want to continue doing this. We will continue to do updates every once in a while. What do you think we should do this? Like every few weeks, every month and a half or so, month or so?
I would say probably like
once a month?
Once or twice a month if we can fit it into schedules.
Yeah, of course. But definitely what I want to do for sure is at least if we can do like the 2 a month. The second one of every month has to do at least a couple days before the next PLE, so we can get our predictions in.
Yeah, that
because like I told you, at least 75 to 82% of my predictions came true for this past SummerSlam.
Yeah, weirdly.
I mean, I called the fact that Seth Rollins was going to show up. I didn't call the fact that he was going to cash in, which was some bullshit.
I genuinely thought that Seth was injured. Like, I didn't think that he was not injured.
Whenever he walked out with the crutches, I was like, okay, he's just going to rub it in the face. He's just playing mind games. All of a sudden, when he stopped, I'm like, what is this bitch doing? And he just dropped the crutches. I'm like, oh, this Liberace dressing motherfucker. And I'm just like, oh, this freaking Elton John wannabe. Like, also another, what the fuck was that red outfit that he wore the Raw after SummerSlam?
I have.
He looked like straight up bloody leather. What that? He looked like he was wearing a leather version of the Kool-Aid Man. The Kool-Aid Man if he was a pimp. Just like, what the heck? I was just glad he wasn't wearing those red boots to match with it.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can, try and defend this gimmick that he has, because he really needs something different right now.
Okay, well, hang on. I'll give him this. It is a slight bit better than that whole Monday Night Messiah thing that he was doing. Like, doing him as a holy figure was... Doing him as a holy figure was so wrong on so many levels, especially when they came to the whole blinding Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio thing. But, let's be honest. No religious gimmicks work. I mean, hell, freaking that didn't work. Dark Alliance? The one that Undertaker had back in the 90s.
Oh, the...
Ministry of Darkness. Yeah, the Ministry of Darkness. That didn't... I mean, it worked, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because he had fucking the Acolytes and Viscera with him. And then, I wouldn't say they were a religious type, but they kind of gave off religious aspects, and their name was kind of religious. The Final Testament. That didn't work.
That didn't.
So, but, irregardless... I love the fact that we're trying to wrap up, but we're still talking about wrestling. All right. So, thank you so much for joining us for this first episode of HBWP, Hebert Brothers Wrestling Podcast. Possible name change in the future unless we ended up liking it. But still, thank you so much for watching or listening to us. My name's Jareth.
I'm Matthias.
And we will talk to you in the near future. Wrestle on.